What is happening, YouTube? How y'all doing today? It is Tuesday. We got sales to go over. We got a bunch of comments to cover again today. So I'm happy that you guys are enjoying the content, dropping comments. I appreciate that. I love touching on all the comments. So definitely part of this that I do like. So and hopefully it helps you guys. I think it kind of helps bring things out and helps other people that have the same kind of questions or concerns or whatever the case is. If this is the first time you've been hanging out with me, my name is Joe, just your average Joe, hanging out in the garage, doing what I do, raw and unedited. It's how we do around here. So I've got 8 items to pack. I'm actually going to pack and ship with you guys with me while I address comments because my mail lady already came through. So that's how it's going to be. We'll change it up a little bit today. But I've been reselling full time on eBay for 8-9 years, and I've been selling and buying on eBay since 2000. Long time. So I've been around a little bit. Can certainly help out, and certainly can. Again, I say it all the time. I can learn a thing or two as well. Um, it's hard to teach an old dog new tricks, though. That's the only problem. But anyway, let's go ahead and get started for the day because, like I said, we've got a lot going on. I'm going to cover sales first, and then I'm going to go to comments. So we had 8 sales, had another pretty good day. So between yesterday and today, I'm going to say it again. I've been saying it lately because it works. Promoted listings or marketing promotions and sales discount work them hand in hand. Especially like in my case, I start on the high side. So I tend to see a lot more traffic when I do that. When things start to stagnate and I'm not selling stuff, that it's always a good way to try to get sales going. It may or may not work for you, but it works for me. So I'm gonna say do it. From my experience, from my seat, I say go for it. But we have a total of 8 sales today. I actually have one that hasn't been paid for yet. So I actually have 9 sales, but they haven't paid yet. But 8 sales right now, totaling $438.69. If the other person actually, it's only got 4 feedback, so they may not actually buy it, and I'll have to just cancel and relist it. I usually give them a day or two, and if they don't complete checkout, then I go ahead and cancel the order and relist because I'm not, especially when they have low feedback, I'm not going to keep waiting around. And then I put down at per customer asked me to is the option, so I don't get dinged on my account. But anyway, that's just what I do. I'm not going to sit around waiting, especially if I've communicated with you a couple times and you haven't replied back to me. I'm assuming you're probably just some bot scammer or just some douchebag that decided to buy something and not pay for it. So, anyway, 8 sales, $438.69. So it's $150 if the guy, girl, whatever, ends up checking out. It's $150 PS4. So I'd end up being at like $580 something, which would be great. But either way, $438 is still smashing the daily goal. So I'm happy with that. But let's go ahead and cover sales, and we will then jump into comments. First thing that sold was Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 complete, sold for $11, free shipping on that one. Next thing it sold was a Game Boy Advanced SP with some games, charger. That went for $95 plus shipping. Sold a Super Nintendo finally. Again, the marketing promo and sales discount is finally yielding me moving some of these systems, which is nice because I need to get some of these out of here. I had like 40 systems hanging around, so I got a bunch still. I get them out of here. But anyway, it's a very nice Super Nintendo. I don't think there's much yellowing on this one. Several games, including Mario, and I think Killer Instinct, I think, is the other notable title in it. So I try to put a couple decent titles, always Mario, and then maybe another decent title. But the rest of them are fillers like NHL and actually I think that's the only other one I put in this bundle. Yeah, that was the only other one I put in this bundle. Normally I have 5. I just didn't have 5 filler games to put in. So I always use the filler games, which for me a filler game is anything that's under $10. Because $9.99 is my threshold for games. So if it's under that, then it goes into my filler pile. And in this case, I didn't have many left for Super Nintendo games that are considered fillers. In fact, Killer Instinct's, I think, like a $12, $13 game. But I went ahead and included it because it only had the 2. So I went ahead and threw that one in there too. But anyway, that's just method to my madness. Obviously, it's got the controllers and everything like that. One original, one knockoff, and then it's got the power and all that. So that sold for $160 plus shipping. 160. Oh, my mic's right here. Hopefully I'm good. It was right here the whole time, so I'm pretty sure you can hear me. Yeah, good deal. At least I don't have to start this over. Next item, yeah, so $160 plus shipping. Next thing that sold was Guitar Hero Live on Xbox 360. Sold for $12, free shipping on that one. I am kind of in a little bit of a rush because my mail lady already came through. I think I already said that, but Nero Matrix Xbox. This one, it played for mine, but it looks a little jacked. So hopefully they don't have any problems with it. But this one sold for it played when I tested it, but I also didn't play it through. So obviously, you know, that does happen sometimes where they tell you, hey, it doesn't work. And if that's the case, it was only $8.50 plus shipping. I'll end up eating like $3-4 when it's all said and done. But you know, if they return it and if it doesn't work through, which you know, it loads. When I test my games, it loads. It goes to the main screen or title screen. It does the little movie thing at the beginning and the you know the intro, and then I hit start and the game starts up. That's pretty much as far as I'm going. I'm not actually obviously playing through the game. So so could it mess up? Yes, it could still mess up, and that's when I'll take care of the customer if that's the case. But anyway, Anarchy Reigns sold for $10.19 plus shipping, and then the last sale was or is the guitar. I'm gonna have to find me a box for this, but guitar for Guitar Hero, and then two games, rock band games, and the dongle for it as well. So, and it's for PS2 if I'm not mistaken, PS2, PS3. So there's that. So those are the sales. Again, 8 sales for $438 and change. $438.69. So that's that. Let me get to my shipping labels, then I'm going to get to y'all's comments. Get shipping labels. So I'm going to pack this stuff while I'm talking about stuff. A little different flow this time than normal, but I got a late start today because I was packing all my memorabilia stuff from over the weekend. I had 20 some boxes to pack and get out of here for my Facebook Live. If you guys have not been with me before, I do Facebook Live, sports memorabilia, mainly football helmets, autographed football helmets. So I did, you know, I had to pack and get all those shipped out today. So puts me a little behind, but that's okay. First comment, Stellar Bricks. I think this is the first time you've commented, Stellar Bricks. Let me reply, give you a thumb up and a heart, and also put down replied on newest video. So my mail lady, just throwing this out there, my mail lady is the absolute best. My regular mail lady, the other folks that come through aren't very good normally, but my regular mail lady is amazing. She'll went out right now. I went out, talked to her, was like, hey, I got the late start today. Do you mind coming back? And she'll come back in like an hour or two. So definitely helps. I appreciate her a lot. So anyway, Stellar Bricks says, just stumbled on this video. Awesome. I feel the same with the wife and kids not caring. I keep my sanity by hanging out in group chat with some other resellers and working while hanging out. I do the same. I haven't been doing a ton of working while hanging out lately, but that is a lot of times when I'm upstairs, I find myself just having YouTube on and watching and you know, while I'm listening. So I definitely appreciate you hanging out. Always put bubble wrap in your games, guys. Always put bubble wrap in your games or a little something in there to give it some cushion. And then reuse your labels. Stuff that you get in the mail, reuse your labels, man. Keep stuff out the landfill. You know what I mean? So let me, sorry if that's all up in your ear. I know. I need a tape dispenser. I'm sorry. I don't have one. Well, I do have one. It's upstairs. I use it for my big boxes, but I don't use it down here. Let's see. All right, I'm going to do a comment and I'm going to pack an item at the same, you know, and so that way, there we go. All right, so there's that. That is 4 ounces. I should have known that anyways. 4 ounces. All right, next item and next comment. Let's keep this rolling. Let's see. Justin Little says, thanks for sharing, Joe. One of your advice nuggets worked great for me last night. I love dropping nuggets and I love when you guys use them. And I love when you comment that you tried it and it worked. That's awesome. That makes me feel good. Picked up a marketplace item. I asked the guy if he had other stuff. Instead of walking out with $100 profit item, I walked out with $300 to $500 in potential profit. Sony Vita, blue, Xbox 360. Ooh, the blue Xbox. Okay. Isn't that the Star Wars one? Blur game, Lollipop's chainsaw game were the highlights. Yeah, the Lollipop chainsaw is a sleeper. That's for sure. It's like a $50, $60 game or $40 game. Nice. I always ask, man, always ask, whether it be on the chat in Facebook Messenger, at yard sales, whenever you're reaching out about something, or you see somebody sold something that they had a really good deal on. Like, I actually just reached out to somebody that had something on Facebook they sold recently, and I reached out and was like, hey, you happen to have, I see you sold, I forget what it was, XY game recently. Do you have any other gaming stuff you're looking to part with, or any other systems you're looking to part with? And they said, actually, I do. I got a DS, and I got what was it, a DS and a Game Boy and some games. And I was like, well, sweet. I was like, if you have some pictures, shoot me some pictures, and maybe you can work something out. So I'm just waiting on him to get pictures, and I may not hear from him, or may not. At this point, I'll poke at him again if I don't hear from him in a day or two. But at the end of the day, it's good to ask. It's good to be proactive in that way, to ask. A lot of people get tunnel vision and just do that one transaction, and that's it. And they don't think about asking, hey, do you have anything else that you're looking to get rid of at the time? Any other video game stuff, especially whatever it is your niche. For me, it's more so video games. I do a little bit of everything, and I know a lot about a lot, or a little about a lot. But I know a lot about video game stuff. And that's what I enjoy selling more than anything else. So that's what I go after mainly. So anything that you like to source, make sure you're asking those questions, at glassware, military stuff, whatever, right? So Justin, good to hear that, man. I'm glad to hear that. All right, let me pack an item, and then we'll keep this rolling. Replied on newest video. Let me go back over to eBay, and let's pack this little guy here. I think I got a small box. You know what? We're going to use a little small box. That's the issue, is I'm going to go get food in like 20 minutes. I kind of did, I don't know. Maybe I did. Yeah, I know. I got to go to Jersey Mike's and get some subs. I got to get this stuff packed before the mail lady comes back. So, the hardest thing about packing, honestly, guys, is when you don't have the right size boxes on hand. So that's why I normally, hopefully you're not getting too much from the mic picking up all the extra. But I always try to, obviously getting boxes from family and friends works out well. But right now I'm starting to dwindle down on smaller boxes. So that's kind of where I'm going to be struggling here soon, is smaller stuff that I need boxes for. So anyway, try to recycle and keep stuff out of the landfill. Sorry about the tape. All right, so there's that. So no shake. 13 ounces. All right. 013. I already put an order in for Jersey Mike's too. So my kids are like, when are you going to get the food, Dad? All right, next thing, let's put this over here and let's hit up another comment. All right, let's see. Next comment we've got. Let's read more here. All right, the Electron Man. Welcome back, Electron Man. Appreciate you commenting. I'm with you. I rarely do I go to estate sales because they often frustrate me. The estate resellers tend to price items based on the highest list prices on eBay, which can be unrealistic. However, I do occasionally visit them on the last day. Give me a moment. On the last day when everything is 50% off. I noticed that some sellers are even more open to offers at that point. You're not wrong. I've had that happen too. I once attended an estate sale where about 2/3 of the items were still available, so I started off offering garage sale prices and they accepted them. But overall, estate sales are the bottom of the list when I'm out hitting garage sales. Yes, same here. Estate sales, they're you can get a lot of good stuff there. Don't get me wrong. If you're going for personal things, you can get good deals. If you're wanting something for yourself. But if you're looking to resell, the margins are super tight. Now, don't get me wrong, you'll catch them slipping and you'll find some things that they, make sure you don't hit that they don't know a lot about or didn't price correctly or whatever the case is, but then you'll see other things that are just astronomical and stupid priced. So, again, you can catch them slipping and make a killing on estate sales too. If that's your bread and butter and you're doing them often, you can definitely make a killing doing them. For my time, bang for buck, things like that, enjoy doing it is not, estate sales aren't quite there. The problem is also you got to wait in line. They only let a certain amount of people in. You got to be like 2-3 hours early if you want to get the good stuff or try to make a play on the good stuff. People can get a bit crazy at estate sales as far as like, anyway, drama tends to sometimes happen at estate sales because of, especially if there's really, really good stuff and there's people waiting in line. And anyway, I've gone to enough to see how things play out sometimes, and it's just not for me. I'd rather walk up to a yard sale, and if stuff's there, I grab it. If not, it is what it is. I haven't had much drama at yard sales. I try not to get involved in anything like that. If somebody gets something before me, they get it before me. It is what it is, man. But yeah. So Electron Man 2, I agree. What's up? It's okay. I can drive in the rain. That's no big deal. What? The food's in a bag, hon. The food's in a bag. It'll be okay. I promise. I appreciate you looking out for me. It's not supposed to like rain much or rain hard until later, from what I understand. So I think I'm okay. I think. And I won't melt in the rain. Remember the other day in the hurricane how I got soaking wet? Yeah, I'll be okay. I'll be okay. But I appreciate you. Oh, what is that? All right, let's pack this one up here. So this is the Super Nintendo. So I think somebody asked me the other day on a comment. It's a new reseller on how I pack stuff. How do I pack systems and stuff? Well, you're about to watch. You're about to see. This is how I pack systems and stuff. Let me put this down a little bit here. You can kind of see what I'm doing here. So I got. And this is going to be controversial. I'm sure this will be controversial to some of y'all, but it is what it is. And I'm not gonna talk about it. I'm not gonna address it. But I do use the post office padded envelopes as packing materials. I sure do. So if you don't like it, I'm sorry. It's just how it is. So obviously stuff sits a little while, so you get little cobwebs and things on stuff, or a little bit of dirt still on things. So obviously they've been cleaned. I keep all the packing materials. So in this case, I know I've got a couple packing bubble bags. So I'm just going to use a packing bubble bag instead of dipping into what I paid for. I don't want to dip into what I paid for until all the stuff that I've gotten through friends, family, and my own orders, my own stuff that I've gone through that first. So I try not to use like the American Bubble Boy stuff, which is up here. So so I put that in the middle, and then what I do is I create a barrier around the system with paper. That'll work. Okay, so kind of sort of ends up looking like this. So there's no shaking it. Bubble around, bubble bottom, and then paper around to keep it from moving around. And then typically from there, I'll use more of the paddeds, and I will put the games and padded. Throw them in. Throw the controllers in padded. Throw them in. Then all the connections. Again, there's no rhyme or reason here. You don't have to do it this way, but that's just how I grabbed it. Let me make sure my count's good. All right. Done. And then from there, I keep all my, when I shop at Food Lion or your grocery store, I always get paper. I haven't shopped in like over a week, so I used all my paper bags from the grocery store have been used up. But grocery bag paper bags are amazing because they're stiff. Excuse me, because they're stiff. So you only have to use like 1, maybe 2. In this case, with this more flimsy paper, packing paper. You got to use, several pieces. You can also use newspaper too if you want to save money. I used to have, in fact, I still have a good amount down there for a rainy day. I used to get, I think one more will do it. I used to get newspaper from family and friends too that would get the newspaper, but not many people I know get the newspaper anymore. But I do still have actually down here probably a good stack still of newspaper. So, again, that's another way to kind of save money, save a few bucks on packing material is newspaper it up. But you can get like I think that's a 40, I forget the poundage, like 30 or 40 pounds worth of packing paper for like, I don't know, the same, like 30, 40 bucks. I don't remember exactly what it costs, and it lasts a good amount of time. So packing paper is obviously a good way to go. And then bubble wrap. I can do the big rolls of bubble wrap. I'm not going to pull it down, but I've got a huge roll of bubble wrap up here. And like I said, I don't tap into it until all the stuff I've gotten inside of stuff that I get or friends give me. I don't use it and tap into it until this stuff's all gone. But that I get from American Bubble Boy. I used to get it on eBay, but his stuff is better quality and you get more of it for a better price. So anyway, that's that. All right, where are we at on weight? We're right at 6.3. So obviously I don't put the 0.3 in, whatever it weighs. You just round up because it's going to be the same price. It doesn't really matter. So you just round up at that point. So 7 pounds, 6.3 is 7 pounds. And I know that box is 14 by 10 by 10. Done. What did they pay? They paid $20.05 for the label. I'm paying $15.30. So you make a few bucks on the make a few bucks on the labels too, which is not a bad thing. So, all right, next comment, and then we'll keep rolling and packing. Let's see. Next comment is War Pig. Make sure if any item is damaged during shipping that you also file a claim with USPS. Absolutely. I think I mentioned that in the video. Always do the USPS. I don't think we need to be so far down maybe. But yeah, always file a claim with the post office, whether you give them their money back. Well, at some point, you're going to have to give them their money back regardless because eBay is going to make you do it no matter what. But if they claim it's damaged in shipping, it's always a good idea to file the claim with the post office and try to get some of your money back. That's 100%. So I think we touched on that a little bit. Ground Advantage now has up to 100 insurance. Yes. If you let the buyer keep it, just make sure they have a picture of the damage showing the invoice that is on eBay that has your name, item and photo, buyer name, and what sold, and for what you refunded. Occasionally, UPS will ask for the physical proof. You're not wrong. I think we touched on that too. They'll ask to have it inspected and have the buyer bring it. That's where it becomes sticky and hairy because not all buyers are going to help you out and do that. So that's when it becomes, you'll probably get denied if the buyer doesn't help you in that case. A lot of times I won't give them their money back, almost kind of hold them hostage until I know what direction the post office is going to do. But again, if enough time elapses and they haven't worked your case, then you've got to give them their money back. eBay is going to make you do that at some point. So, it's a juggling act almost, but typically I won't do the refund until I know what direction the post office is going in as far as whether they need an inspection or not. If they need the inspection, then I'll let the buyer know, hey, especially if I haven't refunded them yet. I'm like, hey, I need you to take that to the post office before I can issue a refund because the post office has to inspect it. That gives you some leverage as the seller because the minute you give them their money back, they're done. Very few people are going to, even good people are going to go out of their way for you, or not going to go out of their way for you. I mean, it's unfortunate, but that's just how it is. It's not that they're trying to scam you. It's just they've got their own shit to deal with, and they don't have time, and they're not really concerned about, you're way low on the priority to them. You know what I mean? So in those cases, those rare cases where that happens, file the claim. You're absolutely right. Hopefully they don't have to get it inspected, and then you can just do what you got to do and take care of the customer and then get your refund from the post office. In the perfect world, it works like that. But there's always those little nuances that happen where too much time elapses and you have to give the refund. The buyer doesn't send it in because the post office does want an inspection. And in my experience, luckily I haven't had to do one in quite a while, but they wanted inspections on items pretty regularly. So anticipate that being part of the equation, and so um, pictures is good because you do have to get pictures from the buyer as well to start the claim. So you do have to get all the pictures of, like, the box, the damage, the how it was packed, you know. So, and a lot of times they'll deny it because they'll say it was improper packing, and so they'll use that against you even if you packed it well. And that's something with the post office. I mean, it's almost like it's undisputable at that point. If they deem it as not packed well enough, then you're done. Or they'll deem that there was no damage to the box, so therefore there shouldn't have been damage to your item or something like that too. I've heard of that happening. I've never had that happen myself. I have had the other happen where they say that it was improperly packed, and I'm like, get out, come on, man. But anyway, those are all things that the post office does to try to get out of doing claims and paying out claims and stuff. So again, yes, at the surface, file the claim, and then go from there, kind of thing. If they claim it's damaged in shipping, you have an item that is over 1.5 months for domestic shipment. It's likely lost. Would advise doing a missing package search. You can do missing package search. I have done that before. It usually has never really yielded for me any success. So I just do a missing package claim. I just do the claim and just start the claim. I don't even do the tracking part of it. So I just do the claim. But yes, you can certainly do that as well. This sometimes will show up on tracking that the claim was made, so potentially helps. If not found, follow up the steps to file a claim similar to damage. Exactly, same thing. I just skip it because in my experience it never works. So I usually skip that step. But I have heard of people having success with it. So, and maybe sounds like you may have been one of them. Thankfully, I've not experienced lost mail this year. It happens more around Christmas rolls around, but did have a good 3 or 4 packages last quarter get damaged in shipping. I share your hate for clothes. Extremely long tail and very problematic with feeling like an online dressing room. Yeah, have to sell the extraordinarily high amount of quantity to make clothes worth doing. You're not wrong. I watched this one chick, I forget what her name is, and her and her husband do clothes, and their whole basement is just clothes. They are heavy clothes sellers, but they're good at it. They're good at it, but they are volume play. It's certainly a volume play, because but again, it's also that you get it, in some cases you get those nice pops where there's great margins in clothes too, depending what you find. All right, let's yes, in about 20 minutes. So next thing we got is let's see, what's the next package? I know I said that like 20 minutes ago. We've got Guitar Hero. So Guitar Hero. I'm a little bit in a rush today than normal. Obviously, I've got my kids down my throat asking for lunch. I got the mail lady swinging back here any minute. I feel like it could be an hour or two, and I could probably go get lunch and come back. But I've already started this rodeo, so we're going to finish it. Again, using another label or another envelope that I purchased a game or got from a family member or whatever the case is. Save a tree, save some stuff out of the landfill, at least temporarily. So, all right, so there's that. What does that one weigh? 4.3. We're just going to make that 4. Typically, if it's not up to 4.5 or over, I always round down. So I round down or round up. At 4.5, round up. 4.4, I round down. Anyway, so far I haven't had a problem or haven't had any backlash from the post office or anything on that. So let me do one more item here real quick. Let's do next one is the Matrix. And I put everything in order when I pack it because when the label spits out, it does. Man, I'm going to send them a message on this one and just say, hey, we tested the game. It worked. We didn't play through it. It does have scratches on it. If you have any problem with it, let me know. Sometimes I can see the scratches better here than I can when I'm listing them and putting them on the light and trying to. But then when I get out here and I get the daylight, it's like, oh, you're just kind of like, oh, okay, well. It loaded, but is it gonna keep working? So that's just being proactive. I send them a message and say, hey, it does have some scratches, some good scratches on there. It loaded. However, if you have any trouble with it, certainly let me know. All right, so I've run out of those. Let me do that. I also I just, and this is I could do better. I've talked about this once or twice before. I just cut my bubbles in half like this, and then use each half. So now I got 6 for games, instead of buying the smaller ones. I don't know. Maybe it'd be better just buy the smaller ones, but either way, that's how I do, and I already know that's going to be 4 ounces, so I'm not going to stress about that. 4 ounces. Let's update that. All right, next comment. Let's go to the next comment. Next comment is Fart Sack Jack. I think Fart Sack Jack commented before, if I remember correctly. Let's see. Thought maybe if you add measurements so people knew when they wouldn't bug you or would just get sales, it's quicker to add them. And yes, clothes suck, monkeys suck, but you're already doing the listing, so might as well do it good as possible. I'm getting ready to do about 7 totes of tee bottom downs and t-shirts, jackets, and coats. In addition, the measurements in the second picture, I'm adding the measurements on the second pic or a little whiteboard so mobile shoppers can see it quicker. Boom, it's second pick anyway. It's the second pick anyway. Pack it, ship it. I mean, look, you're not wrong. I like your hustle. I like your method. It's just not for me. I'm just, I'm, you know, I'm a big dude. I don't have a board to do it on. I usually do my clothes in the living room whenever I do finally get to clothes, because I got a tote and a half of clothes that I sourced this season and I've yet to get to. And so eventually I'll end up pulling it out and just being in the living room and just the constant pick up down pick. I guess if I had a yardstick, I guess I could use my thing and just lock it, right, and just lock it. I guess those are just things you just don't, sometimes I guess the easy things sometimes you don't think about, but I may switch it up on the next batch of clothes and do that just because you threw it at me. So, but also hard to teach an old dog new tricks sometimes. I'm just used to I throw the item on the ground and I boom, 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 boom. I inspect it, make sure there's no issues, turn it around, boom, 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 take my pictures, and then off to the next one. And then I don't post them. I just take a ton of pictures with clothes, and then during my downtime, I'll comp it and then list it, comp it, list it, and go that route with it. So like if I'm at the doctor's office or gymnastics with my daughter or whatever the case is, clothes are just, I just hate clothes, man. But you're not wrong. It's only an extra 5 seconds to put the measuring thing out. If I got it locked and just put it from pit to pit, and then from, was it shoulder to bottom, and take 2 pictures there. So, again, I may tweak my process a little bit there, because oh yeah, I know the same old stereos. Oh yeah, and this same one, Fart Sack Jack, also replied and said, "I'm only gonna do replied on latest video on one of those, since you did 3." So he also says, "Oh yeah, I know the old stereos are good. I have a couple old Pioneers. I see lots of guys selling modern audio AV units, and if people put something wrong button can't figure out and have to send it back." So I guess you're saying if they have a hard time figuring out how to use it, or don't hook it up right, I guess is kind of what you're getting at, then they're going to send it back. No way I want to deal with that shit. In my experience, well, the juice is worth the squeeze. I'll just say that, because when you can get a unit, especially like a Pioneer unit, for like $10 and it sells for 300, the juice is worth the squeeze, kind of thing. It's worth packing the bigger item. It's worth, and big items don't scare me. I got plenty of big boxes to put big items in. I have had not many problems. It goes back to Electron Man wanting to sell electronics and some of his bigger stuff. I have not had many problems with electronics, either being damaged in shipping, or B, customers having a problem hooking it up and wanting to send it back. That's super rare for that to happen, in my experience, is all I can say for me. But again, the juice is worth the squeeze, man, in a lot of those cases for those old receivers. So if you don't know and you're out and about and you see old receivers, look them up. Don't pass by them, because you'll be surprised. Some of them 100, 150, 2, 3, 4, 800. It's wild on some of those older receivers. All right, next one up is, well, let's go ahead and pack something real quick since we just did all that. All right, next thing that's sold, or next thing that I'm packing, is this thing. Did I show this? I don't know if I showed this or not. This sold for $10. Did I show off? I think I showed off. It's a insert for Sega, the registration card for Sega. So, luckily I've got another case, so I'm just going to throw that in a case. Boom. And treat it the same way as a game. Maybe just a little bit more bubble wrap. Okay. All right. So there's that. Should be, yep. All right, we're good there. And like I said, I put everything in order as I go because that's the way it's going to print out the label. So it just makes it easier when the label prints. Let's go ahead and do Anarchy Reigns and get that one knocked out too. I thought I had two. Yeah, there they are. Anarchy Reigns. Looks good. Golden on that one. It's on PS3. PS3 stuff, the newer DVD style games don't scratch and mess up as much. So is that her? No. All right, good deal. All right. Anarchy Reigns is gonna be 4 ounces. I just know from a single game with the case is always under 4 ounces. So we're just gonna plug that in 4 ounces. Boom, boom. All right, next comment up. I feel like I'm all over the place right now trying to rush. Next comment up is Adam 5530. So Adam, I think this is the first comment I've seen from you. Appreciate you hanging out. Appreciate you commenting. I just got back from reselling after a year or so break. I've been hitting a lick at estate sales. They can't overprice everything. You're right. You're not wrong, man. Just like I said before, they miss stuff for sure. I've made some decent strikes at estate sales. I'm not saying don't go. It's just not my preference. Now, if I'm bored on a Thursday and there's an estate sale starting on a Thursday because we don't have yard sales on Thursdays, then I may go to an estate sale here and there. And if there's something I really want to go after, I'll go. But it's just not. I used to go all the time, but not so much anymore. They can't overprice everything. The last 2 months at 3 estate sales, I spent $300, sold $3,000. Damn, that's a great pickup. They definitely undercut some things or missed some things. Spent $150, sold $1,500, spent $200, sold $1,500. I still have much more items from them to sell. My 90-day is over 12,000, going back 2 months since I've started getting serious again. Best wishes for all resellers. Well, Adam, thank you for hanging out. Great success, man. That is awesome. All right, let's reply to Adam. A lot of good come ups there, man. 300 to 3,000. That's 10x. That's can't go wrong there. All right, Kurt says, "Yo, Average Joe, way to go on smashing the goal this week. Like I said, I'm going to try it out. You inspired me. Haha. Great sales. Keep up the great content. Always enjoy watching and learning the nuggets you always drop. You the man." Well, I appreciate you, Kurt. Appreciate you hanging, watching. And yeah, man, let me know if you when you do the marketing promo, let me know how that goes. Adam also says, appreciate you commenting again, Adam. I'll go ahead and reply to that one too. Says, congrats on smashing your goal. I promote most of my items as well. Seems to help. Heck, that's a few percent. What's a few percent when you're pennies when you're paying pennies on the dollar? Not wrong at all. But thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Only 2 comments left, so we'll go ahead and touch on them. Pluies, welcome back. Pluies, I always love learning something new. eBay's wild. eBay is wild, but it's a fun wild. I feel like I'm really dark right now. Maybe it's just the way. Yeah. But yeah, Pluies. eBay is a good time though. eBay is a good time. So, but yes, thank you for hanging out. Thank you for watching, and thank you for commenting. And the last one is Winston Wolf. Winston Wolf says, "Joe, you're a treasure trove of wisdom and guidance for navigating eBay." Well, thank you, sir. What is it? What is it exactly that I said that made you feel that way? I'm curious. But thank you. Appreciate you as always hanging out and commenting. It always helps. Appreciate all the support for some of my regulars. Thank y'all for hanging, and thank y'all for commenting. Again, I appreciate the support. I'm gonna finish packing while I'm on here. We're at 39 minutes. I only got, how many more items I got to pack? 2, I think. 1. I just got the guitar to pack. So we're gonna pack this bad boy and figure this one out here. You can hang with me while I do that. Yeah, that's gonna be a challenge. That's gonna be a challenge. I don't think that's 2. See, that the only problem is with these is they some of them unhook and some of them don't. This one does not. So let's see if we can. The post office used to have long, thin game boxes that I used to use. In fact, we might be able to use this and that possibly. They have since, I don't know if they still, last time I went, they didn't have any. So I don't know. We're going to see if we can maybe. All right. Well, I'll tell you what we're going to do. This is what we're going to do. We're going to build a box. I'm going to learn y'all something here real quick. I'm going to learn y'all something. Give me a little bit of room here. I'm going to learn y'all a little something here. I'm not the greatest at it, but we'll give it a shot and see how this works. If I remember correctly, I don't do this a ton, but all right, so I need it about like that. So actually I got to score this side. So I'm just scoring it to make it thinner because this is way too big. Now I've made it thinner. But what I'm also going to do is, did that not work quite right? That's not the mail lady, is it? No. All right. All right, so that's where we want to be right there. All right, so let me do this. And this. All right. My kids are going to be like, what's going on, Dad? All right. Obviously, dimensions plays a factor. So I don't want this box too big, but I'm also going to shrink it the other way too. I'm just giving it a form. Giving it a form right now because I don't have a box to fit that thing. Okay, so in fact, where's the where did I put the guitar at? Oh, right here. Yeah, that's okay. So we're going to duplicate that on another box. Follow me here. Follow me here. That's the one thing I don't like about guitars. I mean, it's sold for $65. It's worth it. It's worth the 15 or something minutes it's going to take me to maybe do this. Maybe I shouldn't have done this live, or maybe I should. And you guys aren't going to enjoy this. I don't know. But let's put these over here. Same thing. I'm just scoring it. Doesn't have to be perfect, obviously. All right. So now I need to all right, so same thing. Okay. All right, so now what I'm going to do is come on, man. Work with me here. Work with me here. All right. So now I basically just cut them in half so now I can shrink it. I can shrink it where I need it. So that's about how thick I need it, right? Give it a little bit of play, a little bit of room to play. Okay. Now I'm gonna go ahead and just tape this together so it kind of sort of stays where I need it. All right, put that to the side for a minute. And we're going to duplicate it on the first box. Do the same thing. Now, there's more than one way to skin a cat. I'm not saying this is the perfect way to do it, but this is how I do it. So there's probably a much easier way, I'd imagine. Have the right size box. That's the best way to do it. Okay. Always retract your knife when you're done. Absolute must. All right. So next thing, this one's now falling apart on the bottom. Let me fix that. Just so it stays. All right. Now, what I'm going to do is start packing this thing and then give it some cushion. Now I can tighten it up. Probably put this mic up here so you're not hearing that crazy. now these are the games in the dongle. Going in, and then to protect the top of that, so I'm just gonna do like, I don't know, a couple layers of the bubble. All right, and then we're gonna come through here. Excuse me. Okay, now we're gonna take the shit out of it. Once you get the initial, then it's not too bad. Certainly not a perfect job, but considering I'm trying to rush too, because I'm trying to rush. It wasn't terrible. I mean, it did the job. That's what matters. That's the most important thing. I've certainly done better jobs, I can tell you that. But I didn't want it to be in too huge, like a huge box either. You know what I mean? Like, it was way too big for it, kind of thing. I could probably shrink that. That'd help me out a bit. You know what? I'm just gonna roll with it. I'm just gonna roll with it. All right, that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it. That was a what I consider a half-ass job. Could have done better, but considering I need to get up out of here, and all right. Sometimes you got to build a box. So there you go. There's that's a half-ass way to build a box, but it's there. So now we're just going to measure this thing and weigh it. So we're at 6 pounds. 6 pounds, and then we're going to measure this thing. So measure the biggest part first, or the biggest from the biggest section. That's 30 and a half. We'll go to 31 inches. I undercutted myself just a little bit. 31. I'd say the widest part is here. That puts us at 12. 12. And then thickness, I probably would say the thickest part is here. That puts us at about, we'll say 8. So that's that. So 8, 31, 12. So that's it. What would I say? 6 pounds, 31, 12, 8. They paid, unfortunately, I'm going to eat a little bit on this one. Now I could change it. What if we go? So right now it's, they paid 22.25. I undercut myself a bit because I put 22 inches long, and obviously it was more. So I kind of messed myself up a little bit. However, it's, the charge is going to be 25.28. So I'm about $3 off. Obviously, you win some, you lose some. I try to win a lot more than I lose. I try not to lose hardly ever on shipping. But um, what I can also do is I'm heading out to and that's ground advantage. I'm heading out to get Jersey Mike's. So what I could do, and I also have a UPS pickup for my business for my helmets because those are typically cheaper to go through on UPS. So I could go UPS ground, and that's 1906. So then I'd be where I need to be. However, FedEx, since I'm leaving the house, FedEx is 1508. So I'm going to throw FedEx on this thing, and I'm going to drop it off at the FedEx because FedEx is right next to the Jersey Mike's. So I got to go there anyway. Might as well save. Now I'm in the green on it, right? They pay 22.25. I'm going with FedEx instead now, and that's going to cost me 1508. So there's that. So little tidbit nugget. If you watch this long, there you go. Those are some strategies with shipping and packing and things. Sometimes even when you do go over, or you end up messing yourself up and put the wrong calculation in for the shipping, or the wrong calculated, or the wrong dimensions, actually is what happened there, the wrong dimensions, then there's alternate ways. You don't always have to use the post office. Sometimes it's cheaper to go FedEx or UPS. So in this case, we're in the $7 profit on shipping. Well, there you go. There's that. So anyway, $56.39 is my total shipping cost. I might as well keep y'all with me until the end now. So I got a bin out in my front porch, so I'll put all the little stuff in the bin. I'll put the guitar in the car with me, and I'll go get some lunch. So I use the Dymo printer. So for folks that don't use Dymo, 4x6 fits area print. Okay, I use the Dymo. It just spits them out, man. Beautiful. Make sure there's no other labels on anything that you box up, because I've had it come back to me. Anything you box up, make sure that you cover the label from the previous. If you use reuse stuff from the cover up the previous label, because I've had stuff come back to me because they ended up scanning the previous label and then it came right back to me and I'm like, are you kidding me? So again, growing pains. Been through some of them growing pains. Help you guys out. Remember to always cover your labels. So that's why I always look to see. But basically now it's just reverse order. So I know I've got everything stacked here in the order that it printed. So the first one is, Anarchy Reigns. There's that. The next one is the Sony going to Eduardo. There's that. The next one is the Matrix. There's that. And none of these are my own labels, so there's nothing on them. These have other labels on them, so I always got to make sure I cover them. This one going to Kevin. Kevin, we're good. Kevin. Next one, SP. No, wait. Next one is not the SP. It's Toby. Toby, that's the Super Nintendo, which is right here. There's Toby. Next one is the SP, which is Bradley. Bradley. Cover them labels. And then the last one is Call of Duty. So there's that. I always keep these two for packing material, for extra packing material. And that's it. That's from start to finish, guys. That's my day. I'm gonna run out to Jersey Mike's, get lunch for me and my kids, drop off that FedEx package, and I'm gonna come back and I got my football helmets. I'll probably chill for about an hour, and then I'll start my football helmets. I'll put a post out on Facebook for tonight's live because I'll be live tonight on Facebook selling football helmets and doing that tonight. So just a little glimpse of my day. So we're an hour into this. This is obviously longer than normal too. I've been trying to keep around 40 minutes tops, but more in that 30-minute range. I've been doing pretty good, but yesterday was Monday, and Mondays are always rough. So Monday I had to break into 2 videos. Otherwise it would have been like an hour and 15, hour and 10 minutes. This one is an hour too. So I'm sorry for the longer videos. Hopefully you enjoyed it and got a little bit out of this, and we kind of changed it up a little bit and went from start to finish. So there's that. I made it in time for my mail lady too. So if she comes through while I'm out, she can pick up my stuff and get it out of here. And let me get out of here before my kids come out again and be like, where's the food, Dad? But have a wonderful day. Drop comments if you have questions about anything. I'm here to help. I will be back tomorrow. So when we got sales, I'll be back tomorrow. So enjoy the rest of your day. Hopefully your sales are going well, and we'll see you on the next one.